You know, I'll tell you, this is a funny thing just happened. I have a student that's been working with me for a while, and yesterday I've established again the fact he wanted to know, like the question we also had. The fellow wanted to know how you get to listen to rule number one and rule number two. And the idea of rule number one and rule number two is for people who don't live it like me. It comes natural to me to live by rule number one and rule number two. So I don't have to consciously think about it. But that's why I created rule number one and rule number two. If you consciously think about rule number one while you're reacting to some girl, and rule number two, and you keep saying to yourself, rule number one and rule number two. You know, the funny thing is, I ask all the guys that buy my necklace piece that says rule number one on one side and rule number two. And you know, when they take it and go out with it and are aware of it, it works. That's why you have to be aware of rule number one and rule number two. You have to use it before you talk to the girl. You got to think to yourself, rule number one, I don't give a fuck what she thinks. Okay, and then you have to answer her back like that. And you have to remember rule number two. And what it comes to is, you have to ask yourself, would you say to her what she's saying to you? You don't have to accept poor behavior or girls playing with you in clubs or bars. You know, don't give me your phone number if you're not going to answer my texts or calls. Don't give it to me. I don't want to. I don't want to call and not get through to the person I'm calling. So tell me right now, you don't want me to call you. Don't bother me. I tell them that up front. Because you got to make them want you. And how do they want you? Rule number one and rule number two, because that's what they want, is a guy who thinks like that. And I have some great news for all my followers, as you could say. I have a seminar that I did in Toronto for a group, and I can tell you one thing, that at that seminar, I delved into a lot of different things, which a lot of guys been asking about in my question period after. So I think that, and I made this seminar, I got to be honest with you, I made it affordable for everybody. And if you want the seminar and a coaching hour, I made that a package deal that you can really afford, and I can help you. But still, you can buy the seminar or the package deal, you save a lot of money.